In the Switch 2's unveiling direct, the console's first major post-launch first-party game, Donkey Kong Bananza, came out swinging to stand out from under Mario Kart World's shadow. And after playing the game at the Switch 2's hands-on events, the free roam Smash-a-thon piqued our interest with its destructive carnage gameplay and colorful Super Mario Odyssey style level design. But as we inch closer to Bonanza's release day, a dedicated direct shook things up even more, revealing a whole new build of the game with a ton of changes from what we'd played previously. New skill trees and upgradable abilities, new power-ups, and a new character reveal in young Pauline. So while we were already excited to control our favorite ape in 3D once again, have these additions successfully bolstered our excitement even more? Well, after being invited to play this new, closer to release version of Bonanza by Nintendo, we were lucky enough to find out. Coming into Donkey Kong Bananza, the eponymous ape had a lot of work to do to impress me. I'll admit I've personally never picked up any of DK's games, which means my main experience with him is being my arch nemesis in every Mario Kart game from Super Circuit to World. Seriously. Why is it always him? Not only that, Donkey Kong Bananza needed to pack some seriously impressive stuff to convince me that, given the sparse offering of Switch 2 games so far, this would be a worthy exclusive and a grand return to 3D platforming for Nintendo. Thankfully, Donkey Kong Bananza builds clearly on the foundations laid by Super Mario Odyssey, amping up the action with almighty Bonanza powers and superb destruction mechanics. It's certainly a step up from Odyssey in terms of complexity in a few ways too, and that can present some issues while playing, but the overall improvements only make me wonder why Nintendo didn't delay the Switch 2 just so this game could bolster its launch library. Made by the same team as Super Mario Odyssey, Donkey Kong Bananza takes the formula of fun platforming action in vibrant, secret-filled worlds bursting with personality and kicks it up a notch. As a quick recap, you take control of a freshly redesigned Donkey Kong and his passenger Pauline, plummeting through level after level of the underground world to reach the planet's core, with the ultimate goal of thwarting the dastardly Void Company and wishing their way back to the surface. As you'd expect from any Nintendo-made platformer, these sub-level regions are incredibly varied. During my 2.5-hour preview session, I got to explore 4 of these layers. Ingot Isle, followed by the Lagoon layer, the 2 levels from the hands-on events, but then in addition, the Canyon layer and Forest layer, though there were plenty more that I wasn't able to check out. As in the first time I played the game, Ingot Isle serves as the tutorial area, where I was first let loose with DK's powerful crushing fists, and I quickly tried to find the limits of the game's destruction mechanics. With little effort, you can smash through significant chunks of the level, sending dust, dirt, and gold nuggets flying, and making the level practically unrecognizable. While all sub-levels have a sort of unsmashable bedrock that can't be broken, I was incredibly surprised by just how much you can smash. Diving into the sand and rock of the canyon layer, I found that vast mounds and towering formations could be tunneled through or leveled entirely. It's an excellently implemented system that, for the most part, works smoothly and gives you lots of freedom to explore how you please. Strangely, unlike the first time round, I did notice some frame drops during the spectacularly destructive moments, and found the freedom the system affords to be a bit of a double-edged sword. There were a couple of instances where I got myself turned around, having smashed through areas so thoroughly that I either muddled the critical path or ended up somewhere completely unexpected, unsure how to get myself back on track. However, the Nintendo representatives did mention that what I played wasn't the polished, final build of Donkey Kong Bananza, so I hope the launch build is better optimized for those busy moments. The game also has a decent 3D map and a button for pinging objective waypoints, giving you directions that I definitely didn't use enough. So getting lost shouldn't be an issue as long as you use these tools. Just like Super Mario Odyssey's Power Moons, Donkey Kong Bananza has a lot of collectibles, mainly golden bananas. Although the best part about Bonanza's take on this is that the collectible marathon is given a bit of a backseat, no longer essential for reaching new levels. Every 5 bananas you collect grants you a skill point, which you can spend to unlock a range of skills. These include general improvements to things like DK's health, to enhancements to the monstrous bonanzas you unlock. Temporary transformations that grant DK new beastly powers. I'm not going to pretend that the skill tree is the most exciting thing in the world. Seemingly every game has them these days, but I think it's a progression system that Odyssey sorely lacked, and therefore made the Power Moon grind sometimes feel like a chore. Conversely, in Bonanza, I'm strongly incentivized to seek out these bananas, knowing that I can unlock new powers instead of finding them because I have to. And that's a great way to reframe these collectibles. You don't need to collect golden bananas, but it sure as hell helps, and it'll lead you to all sorts of puzzles, secret areas, and even Donkey Kong Country style levels. However, so strong was my desire to unearth golden bananas that I spend a lot of time using DK's hand slap ability, which reveals nearby bananas and fossils, Donkey Kong Bananza's answer to Super Mario Odyssey's kingdom-specific purple coins. I wasn't totally enamored by this mechanic, because it encourages you to press R almost constantly in the hopes of finding buried loot. I end up tearing up lots of areas as I punch my way through one collectible to the next, which, while a fun distraction, contributes to the feeling of getting lost I mentioned earlier. No doubt this feeling was exacerbated due to playing against the clock, but let this be a lesson to prospective Bonandian prospectors. I felt this most keenly in the multi-leveled lagoon layer, but after getting back on track, I was able to unlock the first of the Bonanza powers by surfing on a record and giving it to an elder Kong DJ. The Kong Bananza transforms DK into a hulking silverback gorilla with a majestic mane of bananas, most importantly giving him absurd strength to smash through extremely durable materials, and I later use these powers to beat the living daylights out of Grumpy Kong in a satisfying boss fight. The only other Bonanza I got to try is the ostrich, which lets you fly briefly to reach far off spots and can be upgraded with an egg bomb. I had little time to try this one fully in the toxic swamp forest layer, but my short time with these Bonanzas proved that they are arguably the most exciting part of Donkey Kong Bonanza, adding lots of extra tricks to use in all aspects of the game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest. Ultimately, Donkey Kong Bananza is more or less exactly what you'd expect. It's Super Mario Odyssey, but with Donkey Kong and some extra bells and whistles. While Bonanza doesn't seem to have the bonkers level creativity of Odyssey, the extras that Bonanza packs definitely makes it a worthy successor in my mind, even from the relatively short time I've spent playing. It's more of an evolution of the format than a radical upending to fit Donkey Kong in, but it works very well. If anything, not only has Donkey Kong Bananza perhaps made me appreciate DK a little more, but also made me excited for what else this Nintendo development team can do with the power of the Switch 2. But what do you think? Will you be picking up this simian smash 'em up? Let us know in the comments, and stick with GamesRadar for the latest news, previews, and more.